Greetings YouTube, it's time for another layout update video. Most of what I have gotten done since the last video consists of computer control stuff and signaling, so that'll be the biggest part to this video. However, I did get a few other things done too, which I'll go through. So for track work, I have not gotten anything permanently done, but I have been working on this section right here where you come off the main line and go back into the yard and this way up to the branch line and then also into the passenger station. So I have never used a double slip before. This is the very first time. It was a little confusing to get this all set up, but it really is going to be a space saver here. Rather than having two number 4s back to back, I've got this number 4 slip. And I originally was going to try to fit a number 6 in there since this is a number 6, but I just could not make it work. This angle right here at the corner was too sharp, and I don't have enough space for it. So basically, this way comes in off the main line. Most of the time you'll go straight on through to the yard. And then from the yard, you can actually go onto the branch line. And then from the branch line, for passenger service, you'll be able to go straight through into the passenger station. I doubt that you will ever come off of the main line and go this way into the station here, because if you're coming off the main line, you'll go into the third siding here. So for the computer control, I'm using a product from CTI Electronics. This is the same system that I used on my old layout and my old test layout like 15 years ago. So I haven't used it for a while, and it's taken me a little time to get back up to speed. I started just by like copying from my old layout setup that I have. It's the hardware utilizes these modules. Here are the modules I currently have. This one is kind of a generic. It has 4 relay control and 4 adjustable inputs. This one is for controlling tortoise or slow motion switch machines. It controls 16. These are for inputting, and I have 4 of these. They each do 16. And then these are all for controlling LED signals. These 2 here are for bipolar signals, and these are for common cathode signals. And they all connect together with this old school phone cord, like 4-wire phone cord. And it seems to work fairly well. I have close to 100 feet of that going into the other room. I'll show you how it hooks into the computer here. Okay, so to connect into the computer, this is the CTI on this side, and this is a line that goes over to the NCE Pro Cab, and that's about 25 feet long of serial cable, and it seems to work. It's a little sketchy running that far, but I haven't had any problems so far with it. The staging room, and then the modules in here, I have mounted up down here underneath the layout at the wall, so you kind of don't really see it until you look, and then there's some there and some over there, and then all the way at the end. But it's pretty convenient to work on because I can just sit right here and work on hooking stuff up. For signals, I really only have a couple signals going so far. I need to work on that a lot more. This is showing green going into block 2. I should be able to get that to go to red just by touching it. Yeah, the current detection is so good that you can just touch the track and it's enough to turn the signal. I'm probably going to move this signal to like right here. I've kind of changed my mind about that. Okay, so I've got this set up here to run. I will try to provide narration of what's going on. So in this room, there are 3 blocks, 8, 9, and 10. Each of them has a locomotive in it. 10 has the UP, 9 has the Chicago Northwestern, and 8 has the passenger train. So they are all stopped due to the fact that this turnout is lined to go into the yard, making this signal here red. As soon as I throw that turnout, that signal will go green and it will allow the first train to take off, which is the Union Pacific. So let's go ahead and do that. Let me increase the speed on that a little bit. So as soon as the Union Pacific clears the end of block 10, which is right about where the signal is, then the Chicago Northwestern on block 9 will get the go. So then as soon as this clears block 9, which is right about here, then the passenger train will take off. And since this signal is still red here, then the Chicago Northwestern is going to stop again. Same way with the passenger train. It's barely going to get into this next block here, into block 9, and then it's going to stop as well. So really what we're waiting on is the UP that's going slow in the other room. So it cleared block 1 in the other room. Now Chicago Northwestern will take off. And will immediately stop as soon as it hits block 1 because the Union Pacific is still in block 2. And since block 10 has been vacated, then the Denver Rio Grande passenger will advance to block 10. So we're almost done in here, so let's go look in the other room. Okay, so here on the train room, and the Union Pacific is still putzing along here. It's just entered block 4. So now the Chicago Northwestern, which is in, can now approach block 3. And then we'll stop. Right about now. So one of the major issues I'm having here is my blocks are not all the same length. Here we've got block 2 and 6 are both fairly short. They start about right here and just kind of go to here. And then I've got block 4 that's way too long. Starting here, all the way around, back to here. So not quite sure what's going to happen with that. So then as soon as the Union Pacific clears block 4 right there, then the Chicago Northwestern will take off into block 4. And then stop. And wait until it clears block 5. And at the same time, the passenger station here is. And then at the same time, the passenger train here has stopped, waiting for Chicago Northwestern to clear block 4. And you can kind of see how there's a jam up here at block 4. These two trains are running significantly faster than that one, but yet they're still getting jammed up here because block 4 is so long. Okay, now the Union Pacific is just getting back here into the staging room, and you can see that signal is green, but I am going to line that turnout, turning it red, so it will eventually come around and stop back over here. So we don't have to wait forever. I am going to speed it up some here. So as soon as it hits block 9, or I'm sorry, excuse me, as soon as it hits block 10 here, it will come to a stop. Right there. And it looks like Chicago Northwestern is just now making it into the room. And it will come here into block 9 and stop. And I think I can hear the passenger train coming. There it is. And it's just going to come into block 8 here and then stop. So that's the beginning of the system. Um, there's a lot more work to be done. I gotta maybe do something about the length of a couple of the blocks, and then wire up the rest of the signals. Um, I'll have both infrared and current detection on each block at the end of each block. So say right here is the end of block 8. I'll have an infrared emitter detector pair about an inch back from the end, and that way a train can slow down and creep right up to the end of the track and then come to a perfect stop rather than stopping like way back there. And the infrared emitter detector also add a secondary a backup to the current protection in case you have like a really long train here that doesn't have any resistive wheels in it. Then that would get detected by the infrared emitter detector pairs. For block detection, I use these DCC current detection things. Each one can do 2 blocks. You basically loop the wire going to the track through this this pickup thing here, and then it detects current. So unfortunately, I had to replace this portal here. It was just a little bit too small. I don't think there were ever any impacts. Like, I don't think anything ever hit it, but it was just too close for comfort. So I went ahead and made a new one. I made some improvements to it too. I don't know. I still kind of like the looks of this one better. I can probably do a little more work on that one and get it so I'm happier with it. But yeah, it's just, I printed it like 10% wider, that's it. Here you can see it's just a bit bigger. I think I made it 10%. I'm just a little bummed because I did put some time into making this thing. So I think my next steps are going to be probably continuing to work on the computer control stuff. I've got some issues still with that. And then this track here is probably going to be a priority. I've decided that before I do the yard or anything back here, I am going to complete the branch line here that will come up around over, and then here there'll be a Y, and then the track will need to split off and go back through the wall over here. I want to get all that kind of stuff, like cutting holes in the wall, getting all that stuff done as soon as I can. So that's why I think I'm going to make the push here. I am concerned, however, though, I may have to make this bridge removable just because I want to be able to still get back into this corner of the room and work back there. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be needs to be done here. There'll be a huge valley right here, and in the very back will be a hydroelectric dam. Yeah, so I'm going to need to build all of that, and then as obviously there'll be like mountain and stuff all around here. So yeah, I just want to get this done so I can get the hole cut through the wall and have this track run into the other room. The downtown area, I honestly have not even done any scenery stuff at all. But I will get back to it. I want to. This is the stuff I enjoy doing. The other stuff is more like, I don't know, just more like critical infrastructure stuff. And the computer stuff, I really want to get at least back to the point where I was with my old layout, and then I can go forward from there.